Greetings from Human Biological Institute. Welcome to yet another engaging session of our scientific forum, Immunization Conclave. At Human Biological Institute, HBI, we take immense pride in driving several public health awareness initiatives through our one of its client platform, Immunize with Pride. Immunize with Pride is an awareness initiative dedicated to educating the public about vaccine preventable diseases and the importance of timely vaccination. These sessions feature leading experts from across the country who share their valuable insights on the key health topics aimed to raise awareness and promote overall well-being of our society at large. Today, we are delighted to have Dr. Sanjiv Goyal, Dr. Sujoy Chakravarty, Dr. Sanjeev Agarwal with us to share their expert perspective on a very relevant topic, that is adolescent vaccination, addressing the immunity gap. I shall be sharing more about today's speaker in a short while, and will be starting the discussion shortly. For the moment, please allow me to share a brief introduction of Human Biologicals Institute. Human Biological Institute is a division of Indian Immunologicals Limited, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of National Dairy Development Board, with the vision of shaping global healthcare by spearheading One Health initiative. IIL was established by the National Dairy Development Board (NDDB) in the year 1982 as its unit, and later registered as a company in 1999 with the name of Indian Immunologicals Limited. HBI was established in the year 1998 when the Government of India requested IIL to produce the modern tissue culture anti-rabies vaccine to phase out the unsafe nerve tissue vaccine. The first manufacturing facility of HPI was established at Ooty. The facility is one of its kind in India to have out the first varicocele culture in the year 2000. Subsequently, HBI launched other vaccines, and currently HBI is a major player in human vaccine segment. HBI is a leader in anti-rabies segment and is present in around 60 countries. With three state-of-the-art manufacturing facility, which is Ooty, Gachibowli, and Karkapatla, HBI has also forayed into market of clinical proven wellness products and infertility range. With the vision of shaping global healthcare by spearheading One Health initiative with a mission to innovate, produce, and market quality healthcare products and services to improve and extend lives, we believe in providing affordable products with high quality through continuous technical innovations and improvements to meet the customer needs. Now, coming to the corporate social responsibility, IIL has adopted government schools. IIL has adopted two government schools in the vicinity of Karkapatla facility in Hyderabad and Telangana. IIL is providing infrastructure and basic facilities, including midday meal skill program. All because of these results, IIL has and this intervention, the strength of the school has been doubled over the years. With the program, that is Gift a Meal program, in coordination with NDDB, over 2,500 school children have been benefited in Telangana and Tamil Nadu with the milk every day. IIL has also donated oxygenation plant to TIMS Gachibowli during the COVID period. To know more, visit our website www.indimmune.com or follow us in the social media channel. Immunize with Pride is one of its one initiative which emphasizes that vaccination not only protects individuals but also strengthens community immunity. So, welcome to today's episode, which is edition on especially where this edition is to mark the World Immunization Week, and with the edition of Immunization Conclave, this session we are delighted to have a discussion on adolescent vaccination addressing the immunity gap. It is my privilege to introduce our panelists. It is my privilege to introduce the panelists. Let me welcome all the panelists. Today we have Yes. So it is my to introduce Dr. Sanjiv, a highly respected pediatrician from Patiala with over 25 years in child health care. He completed his MD, MBBS and MD in pediatrics from Government Medical College Patiala and has been in dedicated private practice for over 20 years, providing set care to children and adolescents. His special interests include neonatology and immunology, with a strong focus on newborn care and pediatric immunity. In addition to his clinical excellence, Dr. Goyal is also trusted digital health educator with more than 363 followers in Instagram and several followers, over 1 lakh followers on Facebook and 13K followers in YouTube. Welcome, Dr. Sanjeev. It is our privilege to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Sujoy Chakravarty, a highly respected pediatrician with 30 years of dedicated experience in pediatric practice and a distinguished contribution to child healthcare, known for its clinical expertise and commitment to advancing pediatric care. He has been a trusted name in the field of decades. He completed his MBBS from Kolkata National Medical College and earned MRCP Pediatrics from the Royal College of Pediatrics and Child Health, along with DCH from the Royal College, reflecting a strong academic and global pediatric foundation. He currently serves as a consultant pediatrician at Narayana Multispecialty Hospital. Beyond clinical practices, Dr. Chakrabarty is also an accomplished author of Neonatal Ventilation Made Easy and PLAB2 Goes Easy, published by JP Brothers, contributing significantly to medical education. Welcome, Dr. Sujoy Chakrabarty. It is truly a privilege to have you with us today. Dr. Sujoy, welcome. Now, it's my privilege. I'm honored to have Dr. Sanjeev Agarwal, a distinguished pediatrician with over 24 years of clinical expertise. Dr. Sanjeev Agarwal is director, Narayani Hospital, Agra, attached to Women's Hospital, Rainbow Hospital. He's in faculty of National Pedicon in the year 2018. Faculty in UP Pedicon since 2020, awarded the best secretary of AOP awarded best president for AOP UP, president IAP Agra chapter for 2024 until date, and infectious disease, neonatology, and critical care. His expertise lies in. So, welcome, doctor, to the session.
Thank you, Mr. Santosh.
Warm welcome to all of you.
Yeah.
Warm welcome to all of you, doctor.
Thank you very much.
So before we start the discussion, thanks for joining us today for this important World Immunization Week panel discussion on adolescent vaccination and addressing the immunity gap. Thank you for being here with us today. When we think about vaccines, we often focus on infancy and childhood. However, adolescence is another critical stage where protection remains essential. As children grow into teenagers, immunity from some earlier vaccines may decline, exposure risk increases, and new vaccines become relevant to protect long-term health. And there are also chances, children might have missed the vaccination during the period. But today's discussion aims to bring clarity to parents and the caregivers, educators, and healthcare providers on why adolescent immunization matters and what steps families can take to gap. So we have again, it's a privilege to have Dr. Sanjeev Goyal, Dr. Sujoy Chakravarty, and Dr. Sanjeev Agarwal. Now we will be discussing a wide range of topics today, that is including booster doses, HPV vaccination, hepatitis A and B, measles, rubella, chickenpox, catch-up schedules, vaccine myths, safety and the role of school and healthcare providers in improving awareness. So let's begin the discussion. So my first question for the discussion will be to Dr. Sanjeev. As you know, we're discussing on adolescence. So Dr. Sanjeev, could you please enlighten us what is adolescent vaccination and why it is important even if a child receives all the vaccines early childhood?
Yeah. Thank you. Biological. Actually, adolescent vaccine is when the vaccine is given at the age of 10 to 19 years. Though the child has taken all the vaccines in early childhood, but the adolescent vaccine is also must because adolescent vaccine means vaccine up to 10 to 19 years because immunity decreases over time. Immunity fades with the time and there
Yes.
is no long term immunity. So vaccination and adolescents are necessary and mandatory. And sometimes there are risks of new diseases also because viruses are changing their mutation. That's why adolescent vaccine is must. Some vaccines are clearly made for adolescents like HPV, human papillomavirus, and flu vaccine, even hepatitis B vaccine also. So, along with this, adolescent vaccine also gives herd immunity. So, adolescent vaccine is very mandatory.
So, doctor, would you like to say that there are so many vaccinations which is already given in the immunization, I mean, universal immunization program, and also we childrens get in the private clinics so many vaccines, but often we see that people miss the vaccination. So, do you feel that adolescence is a very important age for this kind of vaccines, and parents should go through the immunization schedule and uh, uh, regularly get touch with their practitioners, the private or the healthcare providers? Dr. Sanjeev.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yes, yes. The vaccines available for the adolescent, like diphtheria, pertussis, all these vaccines are required at the adolescent age also as a booster dose. And parents should know this adolescent vaccination schedule.
Okay, okay. So
yeah, very.
next the question we'll discuss, Doctor, something called immunity gap. So my question to Dr. Sujoy Chakravarty will be, what do you mean as an expert? What do you mean by immunity gap in adolescents, and how does it affect health outcomes, and which diseases are which comes in this immunity gap which needs to be filled up, Doctor?
Look, actually, what happens is most of the times we see when we give vaccines, most of the vaccines are followed up by booster doses. Now, why do we give these booster doses? The booster doses are basically given to actually bridge this gap when the immunity starts waning. Now, in cases of certain live vaccines, say for instance BCG, we don't need to give another a booster dose for that. Most live vaccines, one dose suffices. But for the inactivated vaccines, which are the most commonly used vaccines, as we all know, they always need a top up to maintain the optimum level of immunity. Now, with age, what happens, as Dr. Goyal mentioned before, that the immunity level starts dropping after a while. And as a result of that, mainly in the adolescent age group, by the time a child reaches, say, 13, 14, 15, or even to the 18s, quite for a few number of vaccines for the diseases, you will see that the antibody levels have dropped to a substantial level, and then they will need a top up at that point of time to give them the optimum level of protection. So basically, this sudden breach or the fall in the immunity level, that is actually basically what we are referring to as the immunity gap, and we need to top up this, the these doses with the booster doses so that the antibody levels doesn't drop to a significantly low level.
So, doctor, does this booster dose is required for all? I mean, you said that one booster, two booster. So normally the children are given vaccination in the first year of age. Majority of the vaccines are completed in the 1 year time. So and the boosters fall between 5 years and 10 years. But we require boosters at the adolescent and adult age also? And what kind of diseases they
Absolutely.
cover? Like,
Absolutely, we need booster doses in the adolescent age. As we know, for the diphtheria, for pertussis, for tetanus, we all give vaccines after 10, also even at 15. So these are absolutely mandatory. Even for hepatitis B vaccination, for hepatitis A vaccination. So top up doses are needed for MMR, which is another very important, mainly the rubella part, if you consider
yeah.
that part. That is so very important. So obviously there is a need for, to top up vaccines for the booster doses, so that we get a community which is absolutely protected by the vaccines, that they are not left vulnerable to these diseases.
So that's very clear that yes, once there is a immunity gap, so we have to give the booster dose, so that vaccination is not an individual subject. It's a subject of society and it's a subject of community. Vaccines are commonly recommended during adolescence, as doctor said, that 10 to 19 years of the age. And what diseases do they prevent?
Yeah, actually, first of all, what is required, we need to know what is required for the adolescents. Actually, the vaccination for adolescents fall under 4 categories. Number one is exclusive adolescent vaccines. Certain vaccines are there that are being used exclusively for the adolescents. Number two is catch-up vaccination. That is very much required, like to enhance the immunity of a declining antibody titer. To enhance the titer, we need to give catch-up vaccination. Number three is vaccination for adolescents in special situations. Number four is category is the vaccines for the adolescent travelers. When adolescents used to travel, like if they are going abroad to Europe, US, or Africa, so certain vaccines are required in their countries. So you need to take their vaccines before traveling to those countries. Even if you are a traveler for vacations, or if you are going to study there and you are going to stay there for a longer duration of time, like 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. So first of all, we need to discuss about these 4 categories. Okay. So if we talk about the exclusive adolescent vaccines, there are certain vaccines which are exclusively being used for the adolescent age group, like in the 9 to 14 years of age group. The vaccine which is very much required is human papillomavirus vaccine. It is previously it was being used for the female children only, but nowadays, since unisex vaccine is available, so it is recommended for both the sexes, like male as well as female adolescents. Then, at the age of 18 years, we need to give Tdap vaccine for the catch-up vaccination, and at the age of 16 to 18 years, we need to give TD vaccine, diphtheria and tetanus toxoid vaccine. That these vaccines are a must as the previous immunization program, and these vaccines fall under like essential vaccines. But some other vaccines which are also required for the catch-up vaccinations are hepatitis B vaccine, hepatitis A vaccine, and chickenpox vaccine, and MMR vaccine, especially rubella, as Dr. Sujoy already said. Then, in certain cases, you need to give typhoid vaccine also. So, and then some other new vaccines are also coming up for the adolescent vaccinations, like herpes zoster vaccine that can be used in cases of immunocompromised children, and dengue vaccine is also in the pipeline. So, dengue and malaria vaccines are also in the pipeline. So, if we talk about the
Correct.
very much required vaccines, so these are certain essential vaccines which I told you earlier also, that Tdap and TD, that is an integral part of our
So, Dr.
immunization
Sanjeev, would you
program.
like to add anything related to anything called critical health condition or risk profile? Based on the risk profile, any uh, vaccines are recommended?
Like AEFI, adverse event following vaccination, you are asking about? Or you are
No,
asking
no, I'm
about
talking about anything which is,
vaccination
let's
in
say,
special
people
conditions?
who are suffering for exclusive
Okay. In cases of
comorbid conditions. Or,
immunocompromised children, right? In cases of immunocompromised children, you need to
yes.
give killed vaccines. Such live vaccines are considered when the patient is immunocompetent, because the chances of getting infections or reactivation of disease are also there. So, in cases of immunocompromised children, we need to give killed vaccines only. Preferably, we should give killed vaccination. But if you think it is appropriate to give live vaccine, so you can use live vaccines also. So,
So,
as per uh, it all depends on the endemicity of the disease in a particular certain area. If a certain epidemic is there in certain area, like as we see in North India, a certain epidemic of typhoid is very common during the summer season or rainy season because of poor sanitation and poor hygienic practices or poor drinking water available. Drinking water quality is very poor. So in those cases, if somebody asks for the any booster of typhoid vaccine, then although it is not recommended by IEP, but in certain special conditions, you can add on certain vaccines to the population which are supposed to be suffer from a certain disease conditions. Okay, Santosh?
So, Doctor, my next question will be to Dr. Sanjeev Goyal. Sir, now we discuss something about called HPV vaccine, which Dr. Sanjeev Agarwal said. So, according to you, both boys and girls receive. Do they require the HPV vaccine, and how both are benefited if they get the vaccine? Doctor, your voice,
Not
you're not audible. Uh,
mute, unmute
Doctor, you're not
yourself.
audible. Huh.
Sir,
No, you're in
unmute
mute,
yourself.
doctor. Sir, mute. Sir, doctor, kindly unmute. No, you're not audible. Yeah. So before we, because let him join. In that situation, we will be discussing on Dr. Sujoy. Tetanus pertussis booster protects teenagers, and should they receive that tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis?
Well, these vaccines, as we all know, this is a part of our primary immunization schedule. So basically, from 6 weeks onwards, 6 weeks, 10 weeks, and 14 weeks, the child gets the first three doses. That's a part of the primary immunization. And then that is followed by the next dose, that is at the 18 months. And then you give a dose of at 5 years, at 10 years, and at 15. So basically, you start the immunization at the like 6 weeks and complete it by 15 years. So that is the frequency at which a child, as I was mentioning before, like even if we are giving the first doses at 6 weeks, we need to top it up till 15 years. And like when we are giving the Tdap and the TD. So basically, child, the point is born, gets the BCG, polio, and the hepatitis B, and then followed by the primary three immunizations, which comprises of, as we all know, this triple antigen, the diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, with your Haemophilus influenzae, hepatitis B, and the IPV with the pneumococcal conjugate vaccine. And then after that, the first DPT they receive is again at the age of 18 months, which is the primary booster, which we call it. Then followed by 5 years, 10 years, and 15 years. So you see that it stretches till the adolescent age group, and that is the whole point which I was trying to make before. That we always need to top this up vaccines just to maintain the optimum level of immunity in children, followed by into their adult livelihood also.
Okay. So, doctor, this Tdap, what we mentioned recently, just once in a lifetime, like at 10 years, and normally it, or we
We
have to replace with
we
TD.
No, we actually, if somebody say has missed the immunization, if somebody comes presents to us at an adolescent age, which we quite often get in the clinics, that they have missed that primary vaccination of Tdap, then at whatever age they may come, they should be given a Tdap according to the recommendation. They should be given a dose of Tdap if they missed the one. But then after that, we need to, if they have got the Tdap, we can follow it up with TD. So starting from 6 weeks, again, as I mentioned, they need to have total 5 doses: 6, 10, 14, 18, 5, and 15. So that is the complete package they need to have. If somebody has taken all the courses of vaccination.
So
that-
I want to
Right.
I want
Yes,
to highlight
right, all right.
one study.
So-
I want to highlight one study that is being
Yeah.
conducted in Hyderabad. You know, out of 2,400 children, they studied seroprotective titer of DPT vaccine in children. Okay, that is like zero point 0.1 unit per uh, uh, 0.1 unit, I think, protective titer. So the zero conversion was only 56% in those children.
Doctor, your call
So
is,
in the
I mean, yeah,
not
we are
audible.
unable to hear you. There is interruption in between. I mean, yeah, it's not clear. Your voice is not clear, doctor.
I think I should connect with the laptop audio.
Now it's clear. Now it's clear. You can talk. Yeah, you can talk. Yeah, please.
So one study that is being conducted in Hyderabad in 2,400 children. Okay, so they found that only like 56% children have zero prevalence titer or zero protective titer of more than 0.1 unit. Okay, so it is very much needed to complete the vaccination because the study was being conducted in the age group of 9 to 14 years. Okay, audible or not?
Yes, sir.
Santoshi, am
It's
I
audible. Please.
Okay, okay. So the
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
So the zero conversion was only 56%, sir. So in my opinion, it is mandatory to complete the vaccination. Catch-up vaccination is very essential because once you complete the vaccination, then you can get a titer of like 100%, nearly 100%. So that is something remarkable, and the most cases of pertussis outbreak occur in the age group of more than 10 years. There are so many studies about it. So it is very much protective and it is very much needed. That's why government is focused more on the adult vaccination or adolescent vaccination nowadays. Okay, sir. You can continue, Sujoy, sir.
Okay. Great. Yeah. 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 Dr. Sanjeev, I think we missed the question. Dr. Sanjeev, I think you are here now. Can you please unmute yourself? I think you are mute now. Dr. Sanjeev?
You can call him directly.
Yeah, Dr. Sanjeev? I think, yeah, no problem. Doctor, so we will go to the next question. We talk about hepatitis A and B, vaccine protect adolescents. So who may have missed the earlier doses in the childhood? So do you recommend hepatitis B and A vaccination? Dr. Sujoy?
Yeah, actually,
Children have
yeah, sure. I mean, I got your question. Actually, the thing is, look, hepatitis B vaccination is absolutely mandatory for anybody, not only health professionals, but I believe for every person, every child, every individual, hepatitis B vaccine is a mandatory, and that is given as a part of the primary immunization that we just discussed. But the thing is, if somebody has missed the primary doses at any point of time, for whatever the reason, as we were discussing, that if somebody has missed the dose of Tdap also, which we get very often in the clinic. So in that case, what happens is we have to complete the primary, the 3 doses of hepatitis B immunization for any individual, whatever may be the age. If they've missed the vaccine, then we need to give them the full 3 doses, that is 016. That's the standard dose of hepatitis B if somebody has missed the initial doses of hepatitis B vaccination. So that is absolutely mandatory. And sometimes, even if the person has had the dose of hepatitis B in the early childhood and he is not very much sure about it, then what we might need to do is we might have to check the titers of the HBsAg, and then we might have to recommend for the vaccination if we are not sure about the immunization status. But if somebody has clearly missed the doses, then that child or person or the individual subject should have the 3 doses of hepatitis B, whatever the age may be, or at whatever age he or she might present. So that is for hepatitis B. Same goes for hepatitis A. Hepatitis A also, like we know, you give a dose and then follow it up with a dose after 6 months for the inactivated hepatitis A vaccine. But again, I mean, if they have missed it at the age of 1 year and 18 months, that vaccine should be given at whatever age the person presents to you, if they have not had the initial doses of hepatitis A vaccination. So even in the adolescent age, if they come to a pediatrician or to a doctor who has missed these doses, they should be given the full doses of hepatitis B and hepatitis A, irrespective of whatever adolescent age they present to us.
Right. So, do you mean that mandatory to do the testing? Otherwise, if anybody receives vaccine, if they have antibodies, will it affect? Does it affect the people, or it is like they can go ahead with the testing? Because if you go for a testing is similar to the cost of the vaccine. So, would you
Right.
recommend testing is important? Go ahead with the vaccination.
Look, I agree with what you are saying, but the thing is, what I'm saying is, if we are confused, and particularly for health professionals, I mean, for people who have worked abroad,
Yeah.
they will know that if you get into a hospital, you're starting as a work, even as a doctor or a nurse or even as a technician or whatever, there you need to get your hepatitis B levels checked first. The HbA1c levels, the antibody levels will have to be checked first, and then only you can get into the
Yes.
service. If the levels are below the the 100, below the 100 mark, then you have to be revaccinated again. But on a routine practice, I would suggest that we should go for the vaccination, because as you said, in a country like ours, it's always not feasible to ask for for a child to go and get the titers checked and then come back for the vaccination. They'll never come
Yes.
back. So basically, what I would suggest is that definitely we should go for the vaccination. And for someone who has missed the doses, we should go for the full 3 doses of hepatitis B and the 2 doses of hepatitis A.
That's great. So the next disease we'll discuss something about chicken pox. Now it is getting also very severe because hepatitis A and we see chicken pox. They are getting very severe in adolescents these days. So Dr. Sanjeev, why should adolescents be protected against chicken pox if they have not received that? A vaccine before. Is it
Uh,
impacting the population? How the disease is spread now?
Now, although chickenpox is a benign self-limiting disease, viral disease, and the disease load is although very high in our country, especially where the seasonal changes are very common, winter to summer and summer to winter and rainy season, etc. So that carries a very high viral getting a viral infections very high in endemic areas, and since chickenpox vaccination is not a part of the routine NRP program in our country, and in the near future also, I don't think the government is going to set up a some like initiative to start the chickenpox vaccination in the NRP program. But since the disease, some cases are really fatal when the disease is severe and some secondary bacterial infections are there, or if the patient is immunocompromised, in those cases the chickenpox can be fatal in those patients. So, when as a health practitioner, as a healthcare provider in the private setup, we need to cover all the patients who are coming to us to give them selective advice and give them advice regarding their good health also. So, although price is a restraint for giving chickenpox vaccination to the patient, but I think that if we compare the benefit versus the cost ratio, then definitely it is going to benefit the patient at any cost. So, 2 doses of chickenpox vaccines are recommended. Sorry, Santosh, are you there? So, sir, we all know that 2 doses of chickenpox vaccines are recommended, and that is like a live vaccine. So, basically, it is not recommended post chickenpox duration also. So, at least 4 weeks duration should be there. 4 weeks gap should be there before giving. Uh, Santosh, are you there? Is there any problem? So actually, two or three players are there in the market who are providing chickenpox vaccine to the patients, uh, like DSK and MST Pharma are there. So if a person demands, then we can give chickenpox vaccination to them. If we compare the benefit versus the risk ratio, then definitely it is going to benefit the children a lot.
So, doctor, do you recommend that chickenpox, if somebody is infected in the family members also, you get recommend the vaccination for the chickenpox?
Uh, if the family members are not exposed, because before the eruption of the rashes, the patients are the caretakers and the health providers are already infected. Health providers, not health providers, but the close contacts are already infected. Once the eruption gets, once you start getting eruptions, then already they have infected the other persons in the family. So it is not advisable to give the vaccination to the family members once the eruption has started. Before that, because उसको पहले तो पता ही नहीं होता कि whether the child is going to have chicken pox or not. Okay, so
Okay.
at least you should wait for 4 weeks time. If the eruption started in the other family members also, then you need not to give any kind of vaccination. But if the other members of the family have not getting any kind of eruptions, then you can give vaccination to them also.
Okay. So, I think Dr. Sanjeev has joined again. Yeah. Dr. Sanjeev, am I audible to you now? Dr. Sanjeev, can you unmute yourself because you are still on mute? Ah, no, doctor is not audible. Actually, your voice is not audible. Yeah. So now we'll be discussing the next one. Dr. Sujoy, something we discussed on MMR, and you said that rubella vaccination in adolescents helps for future pregnancy and newborn health. Could you please enlighten us on what is this rubella vaccination? You're not audible, Dr. Sujoy. Sir, you're on mute. Yes.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. The thing is, look, for the rubella vaccination, as we all know that in the immunization schedule which we have from the IIP, there is a dose which we give at 9 months, which is the MMR dose, followed by another in 15 months, and then there is a dose which we tend to give at 5 years. So basically, there are 3 doses which we usually give in our pediatric practice: 9, 15, and the 5 years. Now, rubella component is a very important component, as we all know, because uh, you know uh, the congenital rubella syndrome, which is a very deadly form of disease. If the mother gets a rubella and the child is born, then there's always a chance that the child will be born with this congenital rubella syndrome, with this the congenital heart defects, blindness, and deafness, and all the other dysmorphic features. But the thing is, if a child has missed the the doses of the MMR in the early life, in that case, if that child, as we are discussing adolescent vaccination mostly today, what I would suggest is, and what's the recommendation is, that if a child has missed the 3 doses uh, and presents to us in an adolescent age group, then the child should be given at least 2 doses of rubella vaccines in the form of MMR, to ensure that they are not, to ensure that they are safe, basically, and that the child or the baby born to the mother is also safe. So 2 doses of rubella vaccination, even if the child has missed the primary MMR doses, they should be getting 2 doses of MMR vaccination in the adolescent life. But if the child has received the first 3 doses, in that case, probably uh, the need for top up, that is subject to, sometimes in some countries we do give, but in our country, if the mother is fully immunized with 3 doses, then we are quite happy to go ahead with the pregnancy without giving a booster dose of rubella vaccine.
Okay. So that means you recommend that normally what is the dosage of MMR, doctor?
It's the zero point 0.5 ml which we give for this 9 months. It's the same dose, basically. 0.5 ml
Okay.
is given subcutaneously, as we all know,
Okay.
and it's given at the 3 ages: 9 months, 15 months, and 5 years.
For fifth year also, do you require an MMR dose?
I'm saying
Yeah.
15, one five.
15. So
Yeah,
15 month. Okay, okay, right.
yeah.
Okay. And right, thank you. I think that's a real. I mean, on currently, all the pregnant women should be vaccinated in terms of MMR. You say that
Abs-
congenital disease. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, they should be. They have to be vaccinated. As I said, if they haven't been vaccinated before, then they should be given ideally two doses. If not, at least a single dose of MMR is absolutely mandatory. Now, because we don't have a separate rubella vaccine available in our country, so obviously we have to go with MMR.
Yeah. So Dr. Sanjeev Goyal has joined again. Dr. Sanjeev, am I audible or?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes, yes. Now we got it. Dr. Sanjeev, your question was pending, so just wanted to discuss. We missed HPV discussion, which is a very critical topic nowadays. Should both boys and girls receive the HPV infection vaccine, and how it benefit each of the people?
Definitely, the vaccine of human papilloma virus should be given to boys and girls because in girls, as we all know, that it protects from the cervical cancer.
Huh.
But in boys, it prevents from anal cancer. It prevents from oral throat cancer. It also prevents from the penile cancer. And above all,
Yeah, Dr. Sanjeev. Okay, we missed him again. Yeah. So now we would discuss on a aspect with Dr. Sanjeev Agarwal in the meantime. Dr. Sanjeev, there are vaccines especially important for adolescents, such conditions like asthma, type 1 diabetes, and weakened immunity. So I think some point of time we discussed about the critical, I mean, the vaccines for the comorbid conditions or special conditions. So, are there any vaccines which are really recommended in such conditions? So, people who are suffering from asthma, people who are having type 1 diabetes, and a weakened immune system. So, which are the clear-cut vaccines which definitely look for this kind of, this adolescent girls and boys?
Yeah, definitely. There are a number of vaccines which are being required for the child suffering from immunocompromised conditions. Like, if I want to name a few, like number one is influenza vaccine, number two is pneumococcal vaccine, number three is chickenpox vaccine, obviously chickenpox, and in some cases respiratory syncytial virus. If we can give we can get protection against RSV virus, respiratory syncytial virus, then that definitely it is going to benefit the patient suffering from respiratory infections. So,
Yes. So RSV also is becoming a very critical disease. You mean to say for this kind of?
yeah, yeah, definitely in certain cases,
Yeah.
if we are able to diagnose RSV, then definitely
Okay.
it is
So
going to benefit
Dr.
the
Sanjeev
patient.
has again joined. Dr. Sanjeev, we missed that boys and girl and a benefit of getting hepatitis. I mean, human influenza, human papilloma virus vaccine. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because in boys, it protects from the anal cancer, from the throat
Okay.
cancer, and even from penile cancer. And in both boys and girls, it protects from the genital warts also. So this vaccine should be given to boys and girls, unisex vaccine, in all after 9 years of age.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how severe is this disease, doctor, in India? How do you see the epidemiology of this disease spread of HPV in India?
Yes, HPV actually human papilloma virus is very common in adolescent girls. So it should be given before the any before marriage or any before first intercourse in girls because it can cause cervical cancer. Cervical cancer, the load of cervical cancer is very much in India. So it should be given to all the girls above 9 years. Like the campaign in Punjab has started in civil hospitals at the 14 years of age. A single dose of human papilloma vaccine is given to all the girls at 14 years, free of cost in all civil hospitals in Punjab.
So, is it again severe in India for the boys too?
Yeah, yeah. It should be given to boys because penile cancer and even genital warts. Genital warts are common in India. in poor socioeconomic status. So it should be given to boys also.
Okay. And how serious is the disease, genital warts and all?
Yeah, this is serious. Why not the genital warts and this throat cancer, which can occur in boys? This is serious disease.
These are all
Definitely, this is serious. And it should
genital.
be protected if the protection is available. And above all, when we give the vaccine to boys, it prevents the transmission and spread of the disease to girls also.
Right, right, right. So as we discussed that it's not a vaccination is not a individual subject. It's about a community. So yes, so vaccination protects the individual as well as it spread stop the spread. So next question to
Yeah.
Dr. Sujoy. Doctor, in teenager has missed one or two vaccines. So what are the catch-up vaccinations which are actually available options for the adolescents? Which are the vaccines you should look for the catch-up if people have missed it?
Look,
There is lot of
actually,
disturbance.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
actually, there are quite a few vaccines which we can give in the adolescent age as a part of the catch-up schedule. Few of them was already mentioned to start with by Dr. Agarwal initially when he mentioned. But like as I said, in say for us instance, somebody has missed the dose of hepatitis B, then that definitely needs to be given. For hepatitis A also, that is another vaccine which can be given in the adolescent age as a part of the catch-up. HPV, I won't say it's a part of the catch-up vaccine, but it's anyway a vaccine of the adolescents that should be given there. For chickenpox, again, that is another vaccine which we can give as a part of the catch-up if somebody is missed in the earlier phase. And also for typhoid, which is so very kind of endemic in our country. So hepatitis A, typhoid, hepatitis B, chickenpox, and even for the diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis vaccines, Tdap, as we discussed earlier, that if somebody has missed those doses also, that should be included in the part of the catch-up vaccination. So there are a whole lot of vaccines which can be given as a part of catch-up vaccination if somebody has missed these vaccines in the earlier age, as should be given in the primary immunization schedule.
Great. So, as a message to all the parents here, so I think it is very clearly communicated. Like every parents must look their record of the child, and they should see that they have missed the vaccines. They should go and visit to the pediatricians and check the possibility of getting the catch-up vaccination. So, catch-up vaccination is also very important because if people are not been vaccinated or they are not exposed to that kind of infections in the early childhood, it is the disease is really becoming severe in adolescent and adult, which is a great burden for the healthcare facility across India. Now, coming to the next question, Dr. Sanjeev Agarwal, we have. So, Doctor, what are the common, side effects related to the vaccine, and are these vaccines safe in adolescents?
uh, that vary from vaccine to vaccine and person to person actually. It is basically customized type of side effects are there because the vaccine which is being marketed by the government or which is the permission is being, when the permission is given to the certain vaccine manufacturer, then it has crossed all the four stages of clinical trials. Basically, in the pediatric population, additional one more trial is needed, particularly in cases of vaccines, because the safety is the major concern in cases of vaccine. Because vaccines we used to give in a healthy child, not a sick child. So it is
Yes.
not acceptable if the baby get infected with the disease or baby get sick after taking vaccination. So the very negative impression will go in the society. So they will not accept the any kind of adverse event or any kind of side effect or illness in the child after vaccination. Like we already see in so many patients when because it is a well-known fact that DPT causes high-grade fever, especially the pertussis component. So that's why pertussis component is there in the market. But still in the government centers, we are using only wholesale vaccine of pertussis that causes a lot of pain and agony to the patient. And we see so many patients coming to us also. Doctor, is the vaccine is safe, or is the why my child is sick after taking vaccination? So that is a great drawback. So Government of India has set up a AEFI cell. Uh, Basically, the center is in Lucknow in UP. So IAP is also taking a major part in like surveillance of the adverse event in the vaccination, following vaccination immunization. Okay, so it is the responsibility of we healthcare providers to monitor each and every single side effect following vaccination and report to the AEFI cell of our IAP branch or like state government branches, especially if we find any kind of unusual reactions following vaccination. Usual reactions are local at the local pain, local swelling, redness, erythema, and certain weakness, fatigue, lethargy. These all are common type of side effects which are usually seen, routinely seen in major type of vaccination. But if we see anything other than the side effects mentioned in the package insert of a certain vaccine, then definitely we need to report the event immediately to the vaccine manufacturer and to the AEFI cell of our state IAP branches. So that is a usual routine protocol, and we all follow it very routinely.
So great. So when vaccine is launched in India, so they say that it is already there are many vaccines is already established over the years, and that there is
Yes.
no concerns related to safety, which regulators takes care of the safety of the vaccine and through various studies. And as such, vaccine is again we get hardly very mild kind of reactions, which can be fever and pain, which is for any most of the vaccine as we understand. So, Dr. Sujoy, suppose a parent come and say you, my child is healthy, why should I vaccinate? So, how do you answer that question?
Basically, previously there used to be a lot of taboo regarding this vaccination. Mainly, I faced this in the rural side when I used to go there when this pulse polio, the
Yeah.
immunization program started. There was so much of reservation against certain parts of the community that why are you giving this extra dose and blah blah blah. I don't want to go into the details, but at least what has the good part of it is that we have come off all those kind of things a lot. We have overcome it a lot, and now at least most parents would come and inquire about the vaccination, and they would ask about even HPV vaccination. Even before you mention it to them, parents would come and ask. But there is a certain portion, a very small segment, I would say, of the community still today, who would say that I would take some alternative medicines, alternative pathies, if you know what I mean. Instead of vaccine, I would take this globules and all, and then my child will be safe. But the thing is, as you know, the one thing I tell them is, we all know that lightning never strikes twice. But that doesn't mean when it is raining and there's thunders and lightning, you send your child out and say, well, it's not going to happen to me because it happens once in a million or 10 million people. So basically, this is not only for the protection of the child, for the protection of his or her own child, but this is also for the protection of the community at large. So
Yes,
basically,
exactly.
so that the entire generation and the generation to come next, they also survive. One very, the example, what I always cite, and we all know, is about the smallpox vaccination, what miracle it has achieved. So that one history, if you cite to them, at least those who are sensible, I'm sure they acknowledge that. Most people, they do acknowledge it, and I'm happy that it's a concerted effort from the media, from the medical fraternity, from you guys in the immunization house, from the companies, the private sectors. We have all joined together to overcome these fears and alleviate these anxieties. And as a result of that, the vaccination rate has gone up such high. And also, like we are getting a polio-free country today also. So just
Yes.
because of this, continuous awareness programs from all of us.
Now, great. That's true because the effort has to be from all side, from the practitioners, from the educators. Now, before we close this session, Doctor, the panel, I would like to ask the last question, which is a very general thing, uh, because we are discussing something on the role of people. So role of schools, role of pediatricians, role of family doctors play in improving vaccine awareness among teenagers. So, Doctor, this is the since we are closing the discussion, your message to the audience today, Dr. Sanjeev. Yeah.
Yeah, it is very much needed now that participation of every person should be there for the promotion of the health in the community, like starting from the healthcare provider to the parents, to the social workers, to the NGOs, to the teachers, to the social influencers also. They all play a vital role in the spreading the awareness about the diseases, the prevention, and because now we have controlled infectious disease a lot by improving sanitation, improving health and hygiene, and improving nutrition of the society. So now the next burden of disease is going to be like non-infectious diseases or non-communicable diseases in the society, like other, as we discussed earlier also in the adolescent. Nowadays, obesity is a major health problem. Nutritional problems are going to be a major health burden in the society. So, uh, communicable as well as non-communicable diseases pattern. It is a routine pattern which was once the GDP start growing, the disease pattern also shift from one aspect to the another aspect. So government of India is doing quite great in this aspect by controlling communicable disease by giving vaccination to the like underprivileged society, and particularly adolescents are actually devoid of vaccinations because once the child is 2 years old or older than 2 years, the parents forget about the vaccination, and
Yes.
they are least concerned about the adolescent vaccination of their child because they think that now it's over, vaccination is over, टीके तो पूरे हो गए अभी टीके की जरूरत नहीं है, बच्चा is grown up now, baby is in the school. So now the duty of teachers and the educators come into the like field. If they now the government in India is also focusing on giving vaccination, catch-up vaccination in the schools also. MMR drive is going on very well in the society, and they are giving MMR vaccination in the schools also. Supposedly, if anybody don't get that vaccination in the school, they at least they ask their health providers whether I should take this MMR vaccine catch-up program, like I should participate in the program or not, or I should contact you as a healthcare provider to give MMR vaccine to my child, or MR only, not government of India is not covering mumps vaccination sometimes. So they are giving MR vaccination. They are driving MR campaign in the schools, in the society, in the like जो बाकी सब जो कम्युनिटी वर्कर्स होते हैं एंड एनजीओ होते हैं उनको थ्रू करते हैं, बट इट इज वेरी मच नीडेड नाउ बिकॉज वी हैव to eradicate the disease in totality. Like we are already giving NTEP, running NTEP program, National Tuberculosis Elimination Program, and now it will be shifted to eradication also. The government of India is doing really excellent in the field of elimination and containment of tuberculosis. So in that way, we should focus on a particular disease that are very much fatal and deadly. And basically, we have worked a lot on nutrition aspect. Nutrition is very good now in the society, and people are uplifted from the below poverty line to above poverty line. So, and government is also giving a certain package to the society for taking care of their nutrition in the tubercular patients. For 1,000 rupees per month, the government of India is providing to them for their nutrition part and for just to complete the treatment part of the tuberculosis. So, Ahar Totally करके कुछ उसका नाम है, I think. I recollect properly, and in that way, I think we are doing excellent in the field of health coverage and prevention of the disease. And I think we should keep on doing good work. It is CSR also, corporate social responsibility also. So by we as a healthcare provider, we need to address the society, making them aware about the disease burden, disease process, how it is spread, how to contain it, how to control it, and along with that, healthcare providers, teachers, educators, NGOs, they need to play a vital role in uplifting of the society. Thank you.
So, Dr. Sujay, thank you, Dr. Sanjeev. Dr. Sujay, would you like to share your thoughts for the day?
Firstly, I would like to thank you all people for organizing this immunization conclave. So I would like to thank you and your the house, and also the one and only message is, as we said, like the awareness campaign has to go on, so that
Yeah.
people in the remotest area, they are aware of the utility and the usefulness of immunization. In the
Yes.
mostly in the metropolitan cities and all, people are generally aware. But if you go to the rural part, because rural India is the main India, actually that's where India lives. So
Yeah.
in those corners we have to reach out to, through health staff, through the government has to take more initiatives, and also as in corporate sectors, the doctors, everybody has to reach out to the farthest corner of this country, so that each and every child that is born gets the full set of immunization that is actually warranted by the government and by the IIP. I understand that there are a few vaccines which are not yet covered in the government immunization schedule, but I
Yes.
hope that will be covered soon. But at least the ones that are given by the government in the health centers and the hospitals, that vaccine should be ensured that every child in this country gets that vaccination. So I hope that with all our concerted efforts, one day we are going to get, a communicable disease-free India, at least for those diseases which could be covered by the vaccines.
So thank you, Dr. Sujay and Dr. Sanjeev. Thank you, all our
Thank you.
esteemed panelists for being the panelists today, for sharing such a clear and valuable guidance we have received, we have got from you today. The key takeaway for this discussion is simple, but yet powerful, which is vaccine is not only for young children; it is also essential during adolescence. With the right awareness, timely boosters, catch-up doses where needed, and open conversations with healthcare providers, parents can help teenagers stay protected from preventable diseases. On the behalf of everyone here today, thank you for joining us for this meaningful discussion on World Immunization Week. And till then, stay informed, stay protected, and have a wonderful day. Thank you,
And
sir.
thank you, Mr. Santosh. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
HPI. Thank you, IAL. And thank you,
Thank you,
Dr.
sir.
Sujoy. Thank you very much. Thank you,
Thank you.
all of you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.